Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. My name is Lena and this is Library of Diamonds, and in today's video we are doing a WIP and chat. We're gonna be just, talking and conversating while we diamond paint some, and I give you kind of like an update on how my life has been and just any thoughts that might pop into my head, because my head is kind of random most times. But yeah, I am really happy and excited because I am about to start the last row of this diamond painting, and I am really happy because it's the first time since mid-October until now that I feel kind of like myself again in a way. I forgot what the measurement of this one was. 65. So I think I'm gonna cut it like here. I just kind of rough make my sections. Sometimes I measure them, but not all the times. What I do measure almost always is like the rows, the thickness of the row. But yeah, what I was telling you about, this is a diamond painting that I don't know why I hadn't realized that it was so color blocky when I started it back like 2 weeks ago. Can you believe it? 2 weeks ago. I started this 2 weeks ago, and like 2 Mondays ago, and I am already in the last row, and today is a Monday, and I, like, as you know already, and if you don't, I'm just gonna say it anyways, Mondays are like my Sundays because of how my work schedule is. So that is fantastic because it means that I'm gonna diamond paint a lot today. At least that is my hope. I do have some other stuff to do, like some errands. I need to go to the bank, but it's for great reasons, and I'm gonna explain that later down the line. I need to go to the bank. I need to go get something from the grocery store. It is really not very far from where I live, so that's fantastic. And yeah, we are starting off with that section, but I think I also will need to start the first color that I do. Oh no, it's fine. I thought I was gonna need to get another baggie of this color, but looks like I won't. So that's something that I do whenever I do a big area, and I always start from this side until that side. So I put like the release paper or the cover paper on top. That way I can just put my tray in here because that's the way it works best for me. Whew. You know what, guys? I think I'm gonna change a little the setup because I think I put you too close to it, and I feel that my pen is gonna, hit my phone eventually. I'll be back. Okay, that is slightly better for me. I hope that it is for you as well. You might not think that you're too far away, but that's the great thing of having this phone that has better camera quality, is that I can just zoom out a little bit more. Oh, I just poured too many drills. And yeah, I hope it works. So yeah, guys, hi, how are you? I have, well, I don't really know how long this video is going to go. Really, my WIP and chats can be either like an hour long without me noticing, or me struggling to get like 30 minutes going, because sometimes I have a lot of things to talk about and sometimes I do not. Did I tell you? I don't think I think I never tell you, and I'm going to try to remember to do that. But I'm working on Art Shop by Miss Butterdy, and as I said, I am in like the last row. So what I'm gonna start to diamond paint right now is, if you see this picture, it's basically from this paint bottles upwards. So like from there upwards, pretty much, like the top of the head, the top of the plants, the 2/3 of the top of this sign. So yeah, that's fantastic. I am so excited. And I think I might be able to finish this diamond painting today. Although, if that doesn't happen, it's fine. But I honestly have a good feeling about it. So, yeah. This past week, it was not enjoyable for me. Not in the slightest. not at all whatsoever. At work, I got kind of like a new set of responsibilities that I have to get done and that I am in charge of. But as of right now, I am the newest of everyone in where I work, pretty much. And even though I am the newest, I am the one who, has an actual medical degree. So it's hard to explain kind of like my work, but pretty much I was told like, even though, you're the newest, you have experience in all of these other things. So we think it might be a good fit for you and whatnot. And I was like, nope, please don't. But I still got it. So it's not something that I'm going to be doing every day. For now, and I hope that it continues like this for a while, at least until I feel more at ease with it. For now, it's going to be only on Saturdays. And I work from Tuesdays to Saturdays, and my rest weeks, my days off from work are Sundays and Mondays. So today's a Monday, and for me, Mondays are my Sundays, pretty much. So seems that so far it's only going to be on Saturdays, and I'm crossing my fingers that, as I said, that it remains like this for a while, because I'm scared. I'm really, really scared. But well, I was, and I actually started doing this last week, but last week was a little bit less stressful because there were a lot of pending tasks that I was not able to complete on Friday. That usually the tasks from Friday bleed into Saturday, and then I complete Saturday's tasks. But last week, I don't know what happened, that it was not only my tasks, but also tasks from other coworkers. And when that happens, I'm also in charge of completing those. It's not very specific or very, it's not a big deal. I don't mind finishing those because I know that is not done on purpose. Like, I know it's not like, oh, I'm not gonna finish this because Lena's gonna be here anyways tomorrow. Like, no, I know it's not like that at all. I have a very great work relationship with my coworkers. My coworkers, at least the ones that are also through a remote position, because I work remotely. And so last Saturday, there were so many things that by the time that I was meant to actually do this new thing that I'm meant to be doing, it was only like an hour left from that shift. So I was like, whoo, saved by, I don't know, the bell or the work that was really, really heavy on Friday. But this Friday, even though I still had some things to finish, and I think that's going to be every single Saturday, that I'm going to start the day completing the tasks left uncompleted on Fridays from me and probably from my coworkers, because Fridays are really heavy. I still only did 2 hours of that, and then the rest of the day was this other new task. And it was not as bad. I don't have wood close to me to knock on, but it was not as bad as I had anticipated. Most of it, I think, was, my anticipation and the dread that I was feeling on doing that. Like, whenever I feel uncomfortable or very anxious towards something, my brain just wants to go escape, abort mission, don't stop it. So all throughout Friday and most of the Friday evening, after I finished work, and all the morning, that the few hours, the 2 hours that I was awake before the start of my shift, I was dreading starting work so much that I honestly considered just sending them a very impulse email saying I quit, bye. That's how my brain works sometimes. It's really, really impulsive. I have sort of trained it in a way not to be so impulsive, but there are times where I am still very, very impulsive. So yeah, as I said, at the end, it was not as bad as I thought it was going to be, even though I spent most of my shift day working on that new thing. So I think it's about losing the fear of doing something new. And I understand that, but at the same time, I'm an anxious person. I have an anxious brain. I don't know what you expect from me, honestly. I'm going to take a sip of my coffee. But yeah, one of the things that I love about working remotely and not having to work like at a hospital or a private practice, is that a lot of my health varies a lot. And I'm not talking about month to month, year to year. I'm talking on a daily basis. Every day is really, really different. And there have been times where, even though I feel like, shit, since I am never, well, it's very rare that I am face to face with someone. I don't even have to get out of my PJs. I don't have to have a commute. If I feel particularly bad in a day, I can work literally from bed and no one's gonna know. Like literally no one's gonna know. So that is a few of the things that I have realized are just fantastic. But in my last WIP and CHAT, I also talked about me wanting to be a mom and have a baby. And one of my coworkers, one of my other coworkers that is also working remotely for this place, I think she has never said like the amount of children that she has, but I think it's at least 2, because she sometimes says like, oh, I have to get my kids to school, like in plural. And I was thinking about how even working remotely, maybe once kids are a little bit bigger and a bit more like independent and all that, it's good. But as newborns, and also, seeing my best friend become a mom, I just realized a few things. First off, how much like 24/7 attention a baby requires. And it's not that I didn't know this, because I know that, but I think it had not sunk in my brain as something that I would need to take care of. It's never been something that I have to think about, even though I know that's the way it is. And then also, like, even when I am able to get pregnant and be a mom, start all that process, I don't know exactly how my body's going to react to all those things, and of course I'm gonna be, as I said, even when I plan to get pregnant, it's gonna be very planned. It will need to be because of my health in general. I know that it's not like a problem or an issue. It's more a thing of how I'm going to be feeling because of those things. And I've seen people saying that their symptoms get quite better and reduce significantly whenever they are pregnant. But of course, every type of medical experience and situation is very, very different and varied, and is quite different from person to person, pretty much. But well, to the point that I'm going is that thinking about that made me take a look again at a work option that I had seen, I would say about 2 years ago now, but I never gave it enough thought. I never gave it the weight that I am starting to give it now. And it is to move towards an area of medicine that is very, very different from seeing patients. And it would be like not seeing patients at all, like whatsoever. And that is medical writing. And I've always loved, loved to read. I have written a few things here and there just for fun, just for myself. I not anymore, but I used to keep a diary for like the longest period of my life. I liked to write short stories, even though it's something I don't do anymore. And it's not the same, of course, writing stories and writing, medical literature and medical stuff. But it's something that I don't want to take lightly. And it's something that I'm really, really seriously considering, because it is an area of medicine where I could go like 100% freelance, it's writing, is maybe having meetings here and there, but I'm not attached. Like, yes, I would be attached to a deadline pretty much, but not a schedule, like from this to this time. And these days you work and these days you don't. So that is something that I really, really want to, like, I started to look into it, and I'm seeing some options. I was reading that typically people who do medical writing have either like one of two things, or sometimes both, but mostly one of two things. Either they studied or are in the field of redacting and writing and literature and stuff like that. And the other sector is people who come from the scientific community. It's not necessarily doctors, but pharmacists and other people. And so I am, as I said, it's something that I'm really, really considering, and I'm starting to look into it. Now, since it would be a freelance thing, it's not something that I can jump into right away, like immediately. It's something that I would need to build a portfolio. I would start at least at the very beginning, and for a while I would have to be the one to reach out to places and people offering pretty much my services. That's kind of the general idea that I have right now. I'm still very uneducated on the topic, and I just started researching this, just for you to have in mind and in consideration. But it seems that's something that I feel confident that with enough training and enough time, I would be able to do. And I'm excited about that. I really, really am excited about that. And so I have not done anything regarding that. I am still in the research process, if you will. And I maybe shouldn't have spoken too soon about it, because it might be something that comes to nothing and I just keep on my regular work and my regular second independent job. Because I also thought about, I don't know if you remember, but last Thursday, I took up from work. I took the day off entirely, and I decided to just take the day as a rest, pretty much. After in this other job where I do appointments online, I reached kind of the amount of income that I would bring, working the entire day in my regular 9-to-5 job. Well, more like it's different hours, but you get the gist. And this is a place where it has been gaining popularity, specifically in the last months. But I don't know if it's because it's something seasonal, because in winter people from more places come to the beaches here in Mexico to have vacations, and that's why maybe I have more of an influx of patient requests to have an appointment, because that is completely freelance and I get to decide if if I see patients or not. But I kind of dwindled. I kind of thought about, what if I just left my job, and if I did, I remember that day I did a few back-to-back appointments, and I was like, if every day I saw the same amount of patients, by the end of the month I would have more income than I would have with my 9-to-5, plus the few here and there that I would typically do in the weekday. Because in the weekday, of course, I cannot, if I get a request at 1 p.m. and I'm not in my break and I'm not in my lunch hour, I cannot offer myself to the patients at that exact time, because I'm busy in my other job, and those are clocked hours, timed and everything. And that's something that I thought about as well, leaving that. But I don't want to rush into things. I would like to wait, at least on that end of the spectrum, because I thought, okay, maybe I start doing those appointments while I kind of study and get myself all full on to the medical writing aspect of things. But I don't know if by the time comes, last year I started working, there in that thing, and the first month I had a few appointments, and the second month I had only one, and then starting from October it was an influx of patients, and then November and December were crazy. I had so many patients. But again, I don't know if it's because of the season of so many people having their vacations in the Mexican beaches and everything, even though I know people are in Mexican beaches all the time, regardless of the time of year. But I would like to wait to see if that can become something more kind of know that in a month's time I can do at least a certain amount, kind of like an average of a month to month, and then I can decide. It's just a lot of things in the air, things in the air that I am really thinking about, and I have no idea if and when I want to do all of those things. So I'm dipping my toes on the water, and I don't know. I'm also a procrastinator, so I don't know if this is gonna, just become that, a thought, and it's gonna end in nothing. Oh, I thought I hurt my kitty. Or if it's gonna become like actually something, but I guess we'll see. If you don't hear an update from me in a few months, it doesn't necessarily mean that it didn't happen. It might mean that it's taking longer, or that I am waiting to have more substantial, more of a substantial thing to say about that, but we'll see. It's kind of hopeful for now. So yeah. What others? So something really exciting that is happening this month. I already said that I had a fantastic couple of months through November and December regarding my appointments online, and that brought a significant amount of extra income. I was kind of debating on what to do with that extra income, and my first thought was save and invest. But at the same time, I thought about my medical debt that is huge, and that even though the interests are low, you guys, I've seen, I've gotten a lot. This is seasonal pretty much, but every once in a while, I get into the YouTube side of things where people are budgeting, and they do cash budgetings and all that. And when people talk about their debt and the interest rates that you guys have in the US, and I'm talking about the US because that's the majority of people where I've seen talk about specific numbers regarding a percentage of interest in credit cards and all sorts of debt, not only medical or credit card. I'm gonna take a sip of my coffee. Like, I'm not even gonna tell you the crazy, outrageous percentage of interest that credit cards have here in Mexico. They are just, oh gosh, that's criminal. That's honestly criminal. That is made, it kind of gives me nightmares. And so I realized at some point that even if I invested, the percentage of return was like, it was not worth it to have it there and have the interest be so high on my debt. And so I decided to just save enough to have like an emergency funding that I've always tried to have. I just increased it very, very slightly just to feel kind of safer in a way. But the rest has been going entirely to my debt. And for the month of November, I was meant to have that money back, like whatever I work on those appointments in November, I get paid in December. And then when I worked in December, I would have gotten paid in January, like in the middle of January. But something happened with the method that I selected to get paid, that there was like this very, very lengthy verification process and whatever, like it's a whole story. The point is that I got paid for what I worked on November and December, all in the middle of January. So that was a very interesting and huge for me amount. And I decided that all of that, like in its entirety, was going to go towards my medical debt. And I kind of felt uneasy about it because I was like, oh, all this money, I could buy diamond paintings, I could invest it, I could purchase some things that I've been wanting for the apartment and stuff. But at the same time, I kind of processed it quite a lot and decided against those things and decided to go directly towards my medical debt, because my thought process was, yes, there are all of these amazing things that I could do with this money, and it's gonna feel awful to have all of this money go towards debt. You know, feel as if I didn't like feel as if I just threw the money away because I'm not gonna see like an instant result. But that is another thing I'm also currently working on the delayed gratification of things, of not just because something is not instant gratifying, it doesn't mean that in the long run is the best choice for you. And that's what I went with. I decided to, go directly into my debt, and because I know that in the long run that's going to be way, way better. Like, just having that, it's going to decrease my debt in so much. The percentage of interest is also going to go down. The total amount of extra money that's going towards, just the interest is also going to, like, everything is going to go down, and it's going to cut the amount of time that it takes me to pay all both my medical debt and also my credit card debt. Is going to make it just so much better. Like, in the long run, it's going to take me less time. I'm not going to be constantly thinking about it, because that's something that I do. I constantly think about, like, I look at my budget spreadsheet, and I have also there tracking my debt and everything. And I'm like, oh, according to this, if I keep doing the payments like such and such, it's going to take me all this time. And it's just dreadful. It's dreadful and scary, honestly. But I did sort of like a simulation, and kind of to make bring forward the actual benefit on the long run that it's going to have. And it's so much better. Like, the amount of time that I cut from today until the potential day where I'm gonna finish paying my debt is absolutely crazy. And after I took that decision, I made my first purchase from Simply Gilded. I know that might not be, like, it was kind of a reward for me, and it might be questionable, but at the same time, you guys, I felt that I deserved it. Like, I'm already, in a way, restricting myself on diamond paintings because I want to feel more comfortable with my stash size. And I've been able to, it's helped that none of the diamond paintings that have come out have been, like, oh my God, I need it. I do regret not getting some stuff on restocks, but I already parted with that. I'm fine with it. If they come back in restock, I'm going to get them. That's an immediate yes, even if I'm not yet, down to my stash number that I would like. Those are kind of like exceptions to the rule. But I completely lost my train of thought. Where was I? Oh yeah, I've been resisting, and it feels great. It feels really, really great. And something that also felt really great. Oh, I need to change the putty in this one, but I'm just going to keep using the smaller one. Something that made me feel really great is that I got my first purchase from Simply Gilded. And what I got is, Simply Gilded is a stationery shop that has really, really adorable things. What is known mostly for, at least in the diamond painting community, is the washi tape. Because most people, or at least from my side of the internet, we use washi tape to put around our canvases because there's some overpour of glue that in there like gets stuck like with pet hair and dirt and all that stuff. So I personally choose to put a washi tape all around, and many people do as well. And also many people use washi tape to section off their sections on their diamond paintings, and I do so as well. But I just had like generic, Temu washi tape and whatnot, because I thought, it's cheaper, it's fine, I don't really mind it that much. But lately, the washi tape that I've gotten from Temu, gosh, it's awful. Like, I try to, let me show you something. Okay, so this one is not from Temu, but whenever I tried to, where is it? Okay, so here's the start, right? Whenever I tried to peel something out of the washi, like, even if I did it really, really carefully, like, it started to come regularly like this. But in the middle of somewhere, it got so stuck to itself, like the washi tape underneath, that in some places it just would like tear like this, And it didn't matter how careful I was. I ended up throwing out like an entire batch of washi that I got from Temu because roll after roll after roll, I kept having the same problem. And I am not gonna, and then I have another set of washi tapes that work really good. But at the same time, you know, guys, if you have the chance, go and look at the washi tape from Simply Gilded. But for me, it is like a luxury, you know, because of the price point, and I also need to pay the fees from my forwarding address and all that, because I choose to get things into my forwarding address instead of directly getting them into my country, because sometimes that is more expensive and whatnot, like decisions, you know. But the thing that I got from there was a mystery box. I don't remember exactly when it was, but I think it was after Christmas that in the Crafters Den Discord group, someone posted that Simply Gilded had their mystery boxes out again. And they do mystery boxes with all kinds of stationery, not only from washi tape. But for washi tape, there was this box that had 60 different washi tapes. I think it said over 60 washi tapes for $60. And taking into consideration that usually a bundle of 2 washi tapes can be $10 or even more expensive, that was a great deal. That is a great deal. I think it said $330 worth of washi tape for $60. And yes, it might not be like the newest or the most popular washi tape, but I got it because I have only heard incredible things about that washi tape. It's not, yes, it's cute. It's really, really cute and adorable. But it's not only the fact that it's cute. I've heard amazing things about the quality of it and the amount of washi tape that you get. You know, those rolls that you get from Temu or AliExpress or whatever, they have like 2 to 3 meters. I don't know. I don't know exactly how much that is in yards, but it's not a very good amount. Like sometimes I was not even having enough washi tape in one roll to put around all of my canvas. And I would have to change washi tape in the middle of my canvas. And it's not a big deal. You know, it's not the end of the world. That is such a first world problem to have. But I was like, you know what? I would like to have a washi tape that has more than a few yards of it. And that would last me for a bit longer. And I don't know. I just plunged and got it. And yeah, I am really excited to finally get it. Finally get it. And see what I got. I've seen pictures of other people, you know, showing what they have. And yes, not everything is my favorite. But if it works, it would be way, way better than the washi tape that I had to throw away. Because even if it's something cheap, that's the thing about cheap things. When you... And I understand that sometimes, you know, that's all you can afford, and that's fine, because that was me. That's why I got those, because that was all that I could afford at the time. But sometimes something cheaper in the short term ends up being more expensive in the long term, in a way. But at least I'm going to be set up with washi tape for a very, very long time. Because I still have some washi tape that actually works great. I have 3, and then I have this little roll of I think it's like 1 to 10. Yeah, it's 10. And I am in the last 3 of the first roll, and these are working really great. It's not very lengthy. I think it would be like 4 or 5 meters or such, but the stickiness is great. The length of it is great. It's floral. It's not my favorite, but it's kind of cute. So far I have that one going, but you know, I'm gonna be completely set up for, I would say, years. I would dare to say years with that washi tape. So yeah, I am really excited to get it, and I'm also excited to see which designs I get, and overall to see the experience of it. So yeah, and today, guys, yesterday was Sunday. And for me, it was pretty much the perfect Sunday. And I started to do a vloggy type of style video that's going to go up hopefully on Wednesday. And you're going to see it pretty much. Like if if you want, of course. But it's kind of a bloggy style of video. So I had a lot of fun doing that yesterday, and like overall, I think that my Sunday yesterday was just the perfect Sunday, the most perfect Sunday that I've had in a while, because I didn't have to do any, that sort of obligatory family thing that you sometimes don't want to do. I didn't have to go out of my apartment. I was able to diamond paint a lot. I did some chores, and I didn't feel that I was only diamond painting instead of doing, things of adults like cleaning and cooking and stuff. I spent time with my boyfriend. I got a little bit more caught up with my YouTube, like my YouTube watching. I didn't got too caught up with my YouTube making because I've been falling behind a little bit. Like these past few weeks, some videos have gone up, have been filmed and gone up like pretty much at the same time. But yeah, it's been a bit rough these past few weeks with, work and fatigue and all those sort of things. But I hope it gets back in track soon. And I've been able to keep my schedule nonetheless, even if it's not exactly at the times that I would typically do. I do upload every day that I have in my schedule to upload. As I said, for example, yesterday's ASMR video that I did went up at, I don't even remember what time it went up, but hours after my usual 10 a.m. And this WIP and CHAT is also going to go after, because I started recording this at 10 after 9 a.m. and it's already 9:52 a.m. So it's gonna go up later than it would typically do, but it's gonna go up today. And for me, that's what counts. As of right now, at least, that's what counts, because yeah, I'm making it happen still, even if it's a struggle, and I feel immensely proud of myself for that. I'm not really proud on how I'm placing these drills, but it's fine. It's not the end of the world. It's just diamond painting. I do like them to be straight, and I'm a perfectionist in many areas of my life, but I try not to be whenever it's something like this that is a hobby, and that I just want to enjoy it, and I want it to be my happy place. I don't want it to become stressful when it's not needed. I don't need this to be stressful. I have enough stress in my life already. So yeah, what was I saying? Yeah, the perfect Sunday for me. I ate a lot, but I realized it's because I was just really close to my period. So it was a fantastic Sunday nonetheless. What else? What other updates do I have? Oh, my reading. My reading. I have not been able to, last week I told you that I was in this huge reading binge. Well, at the middle of the week, that kind of went away, and I have not read in I read something yesterday. I read for an hour, I would say, but after that I have not read anything during the week, pretty much. So I am hoping that I have also that as a goal for today. I'm hoping to finish the book that I'm currently reading, because it's exciting. It's just that I also wanted to catch up on my YouTube, and I cannot do both things at once. It's already hard enough to read and diamond paint, to also read and diamond paint and watch my YouTube, because YouTube is huge for me. I'm millennial. I am still very much a long content girly. The longest, the better. I love watching true crime videos that are 2 hours long and stuff. And I don't watch them in regular speed. I watch them at least in 125 speed, at least. It depends on the creator. I choose to watch it a little faster or a little slower, because there are some people who talk really, really fast, and then there are some people who talk really, really slowly, and I cannot deal with slow. My brain just gets really bored and sleepy whenever I listen to something that is really slow. I think that's why I always fall asleep when I'm watching YouTube videos with my boyfriend, because my boyfriend hates watching things speeded up. Kind of like this very squeaky quality that sometimes the voice gets. He just doesn't like it. So yeah, I always fall asleep when I watch something with my boyfriend. That was not the point. What was the point? I'm always losing my point. Let me try if I remember. Let me try what? Let me try and see if I remember what my point was. I think it was just that my point was what? No. That my binge reading has gone away. Yes, that was my point. And talking about, I don't know, I've been talking about YouTube for such a long time in this video. I feel that I almost forgot something that I was going to tell you about. I was going to tell you a few weeks ago, I don't really remember when exactly, I told you an anecdote of one of my patients, one of my online patients, that they took the call like while on a church service. Like, I'm not kidding. And something interesting happened yesterday as well. So yesterday it was 7:30-ish or something. No, it was 7, I think. Was it 7? Yes, I think it was 7. Or was it 9? I don't even remember anymore. Don't quote me. I had 2 appointments yesterday from that app that I always tell you about. And the second one, it was this French girl, and I started to talk to her in English, and she was using her phone to translate everything. Like, she would speak into Google Translator and then play it in English for me, and I would just answer her. And I would try to be very clear and specific on what I answered in English, because of course I wanted her to understand me as best as she could. And in the middle of, well, not in the middle, more like in the beginning of the appointment, she was like, "Do you speak Spanish? I'm really struggling." And I'm like, "Girl, I'm from Mexico. Of course I speak Spanish." And she started to speak not flawless, of course, but, very good Spanish. And I was like, "Oh, girl, like, we should have started from here, like, from the beginning." And she was a young 23-year-old, the appointment went great and whatnot. And I, after the appointment, I sent some information to the patient's email address and whatnot. And, like, once you book the appointment with a specific, like, when you book an appointment in that app, you put all your information in, like your name and what your invoice, like where you want the invoice to be, I don't know, information for the invoices or whatever. But you don't get to see that information if a patient doesn't book with you. Like, whenever someone books with you, whenever someone makes a request, the only information that you can see from them is like their first name, their age, and a little description of what they are asking for. Maybe sometimes it's a description like I forgot this medication and I need my prescription, or I'm having the symptoms and I wonder if I might have something or the other. And she was French. She didn't speak much English. As I said, she was using an app to translate everything. And then we realized that, she spoke Spanish, and of course I speak Spanish as my native language and is my main language in my life. And we went back and forth and whatnot. And other information that I'm able to see once a patient books with me is their email address, because I can either send the prescription to their email address or through WhatsApp or something like that. And when I sent the prescription over to her email address, the name was kind of interesting. I'm not going to say fun. It was not funny. It was just like, oh, interesting. And that was it. Because it was not like a personal email. It had like the picture of the email. It was kind of like those sort of caricature, like cartoonish looking. And it was another girl, and it said something twins or whatever. And I'm like, okay, it's fine. And then in the middle of the night, she asked me something about a medication and whatnot. And when I opened the email, I noticed that, like your mail can be Chewbacca 123, but you can say, oh, my name is Gregory Thomas or something like that. And that's what's going to be in your email as well, like your name or whatever. Wait, I need to find, I lost my slipper, I'm sorry. And so when I saw that other name, I was like, what? Because it sounded like it could be a name for an Instagram page or a TikTok page or something like that. And I was like, no, this is YouTube. And mind you, I woke up randomly at 4 a.m. and saw this message. And that's when I noticed that. So I went to YouTube. I typed in that name. And you guys, she has a YouTube channel. And it's not a small YouTube channel. Like, it's not, millions and millions like, some big, huge creators. But she had like, what was it? Like 184K or something like that. You know what? I'm going to look for it right now because it was just so... Oh, here it is. Oh my God. No. No, my bad. Wait a second. Oh, was it? Wait a second. Oh, here it is. Oh my God. Let me tell you. She has 183,000 subscribers. Oh gosh. And I was like, what? They are actually, yeah. And she has it with another person, and I don't want to give too many details. Although, should I? No, because she's a patient. No, of course not. No. I mean, she was a patient and I'm probably never going to see her again, but it's just a funny thing. Like yeah, a YouTuber, I had an appointment, a YouTuber had a medical appointment with me. And I just started to think, how funny would it be if she knew that I also have a YouTube channel? Like, I don't have 183K, but I have 3K. I don't know. It just was really, really interesting, to say the least. But yeah, that is kind of another patient anecdote. And sometimes these happen every once in a while. So I don't know. Let me know if you would like to hear some of these interesting things that happen. Yeah, it might be just a typical thing. And I will never say like the name or any private identifiable information about the patients because, privacy. But yeah, these type of things are interesting, very interesting when they happen, and they always happen. They always happen. So yeah, guys, it seems that I have finished like all of these. Whenever I diamond paint and talk in a WIP and chat, I don't diamond paint as fast as I typically would. This color blocky section would have taken me way less time, but I don't mind it really. I had a blast. I think it's been like the first WIP and chat in a little while where I don't know how long this one is, but where I at least feel that I talked a little bit more and that I had more things to say. I don't know. Maybe this video is like 20 minutes. Who knows? But yeah, guys, thank you so much for watching. Let me know down below if you would like to listen to more anecdotes whenever I have them from random people in the world. And as I said, never identifiable features or any of that. Let me know what are you currently working on. And I really have no idea what else to say. Thank you so much for watching. I hope that you enjoyed my blabber as always, that I kept some company to you, and that you just have a rest of your day, like a fantastic rest of your day. Bye-bye.